Okay, so today I think I'm gonna try to do a bowl. I figured I'm still editing a ton of other videos and I thought that this would be kind of fun to just do a little side project. So I actually got some cool little dragonstone pieces the last time I was at the aquarium store. And then I also ordered some really cool little wood pieces off of Amazon. I'll leave the link down in the description for that. But yeah, I figured it would be really fun to do that. I got some really cool rocks and gravels, and I already have some substrate from another tank that I broke down. So I figured this would be the perfect time to do that. So let's jump right into this. For my substrate, I'll be using the fluval stratum volcanic soil. I honestly use it on all my tanks and I've never had an issue with it. I also recently watched a video with MJ Aquascaping who did a whole comparison video on a bunch of different kinds of soils and substrates, and it just so happened that the fluval stratum actually did a significantly better than the other methods.
Tank number 2, fluval stratum. Looking a lot more cleaner, as you can see, like there's quite a big difference. So yeah, tank number 2 has virtually no algae, and the Ludwig Super Red is looking really vibrant here. I like that.
For my sand, I'll be using the sand called Crystal River by Supernatural Aquascapes. It does come out a bit bright on camera, as I've learned, so I'll be capping with a small gravel, which I'll be showing you later on in the video. I'll also be using some small lava rock granules to mix with my soil for several reasons. It helps create height, stops things from shifting around when I add my hardscape, and since I'm not adding a filter to this project, this should create a good little biological filter underneath. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna fill this snazzy little media bag. It's got a cool little zipper up here, so to keep everything in. And then this way, when we put everything in here, it's just gonna go like this, and then that way I can have all of the decorative sand in the front and it's not gonna pour over. We're gonna start off, so it's gonna be about a cup of the lava rock in here. Let me kind of shake it up in here. Maybe a little bit more. So I quickly realized that my proportions were just a little bit off. So what it actually was supposed to be was 2 cups of the volcanic soil and then 2 cups of the volcanic stratum soil. But what's a little trial and error, right? So the dragonstone and wood kind of escape themselves, which is always really nice when things come together. Or so I thought. Deep, calming breaths. I'm telling myself this a lot lately. But yeah, I didn't glue the rocks to the wood properly and I end up having to rescape this whole thing. Fun, right? But yeah, let's keep it moving. So since I wanted a filterless, self-running ecosystem, and to keep space for some tiny fish fry to be able to putter around in, I thought adding some top plants would be a great way to have a natural water filtration system that didn't take up too much space. To do this, I planned on wedging the plant between the top part of the wood that was sticking out on the left. To do this, I cleared out all the soil off of the roots and rinsed them off. It was all good in theory. So as you can tell, the wood unfortunately floated. So we're gonna have to take this guy out here, throw him back into the soil. We're gonna put this guy back to where we found him in here. And we're gonna have to figure out how we're gonna glue this guy down. So, And I don't know if you can see, but there's definitely a little baby endler that took a ride when I took out the aquarium water from this tank in here. So you know what? He's fine. He's still in the same water, the same temperature, so we're all good. So we just need to figure out how we're gonna glue this wood and keep it in here now. Oopsie, also, by the way, that's an Anubias plant. I totally forgot to mention that earlier. Hi, me again. So, as you can tell, things went a little awry, as they sometimes do when you make these kinds of scapes. You know, everything that could go wrong kind of did, and I thought it was important to just, you know, talk about it for a second because, you know, I'm sure that so many people deal with things like this happening. So, I had my wood float up, I had my glue not hold, all the rocks kind of fell down. Yeah, everything just kind of went kaput, if you will. So, but you know what? This is a great learning experience for everyone. So we're gonna fix it. Because guess what? Everything is always fixable. So yeah, let's get started. Ay, ay, ay. So that did take a little bit longer than expected. But you know what? Good things come to those who wait. And I'm actually kind of grateful everything fell apart because it forced me to create a whole new and better scape that I was way happier with. I ended up having way more space for the little endler babies to swim around in, and honestly, I felt like I added a lot more depth by adding the small gravel in the back and rearranging the dragonstone. But good as it looked to turn this bowl or cylinder into its own little ecosystem, we needed to add some more plants. Luckily, I haven't trimmed the plants in the big tank, so I went shopping at my very own U-Pick farm. So for the next part, my microphone was accidentally muted. Great. And since I have no idea what I was saying, I'll just have to kind of wing it. So to turn this into an ecosystem, I wanted to add some easy and fast growing plants in the back. For this, I decided to first add some limnophilia. And then I added some Hygrophila deformis. Oh, these plant names are just out of control. Anyway, it's also commonly known as water wisteria. I love the texture difference from the bushiness of the limnophilia versus the leaves on the hydrophilic deformis. I also added this super pretty plant called Hygrophila polysperma, commonly known as Sunset Hydro or Rosenberg Hydro. My gosh, these plant names. I love the little bits of pink in it, and I thought it would add a really nice touch of color to the all-around build. And lastly, I added some Hydrocotyl leucophala, commonly known as Brazilian pennywort. I love the little leaves and vines. They remind me a little bit of good luck clovers for some reason, and we all need a little bit of extra luck, right? A little trick I learned on speeding up establishing any tank is adding water from a tank that has already been running. And because we learned our lesson the first time with the baby endler taking a ride, I figured this time I would use a little shrimp net just in case someone decided to get a little curious. So as you can tell, it's a little foggy. But I figure if I add a little light, this might end up looking a little better. So I won't bore you with the details, and I'm not sponsored by this company, by the way, but I sure do genuinely love their lights. I literally have 7 of them in 3 different variations. They're reasonably priced on Amazon, they look great, they're easy to put together and screw onto most tanks, and they've been growing my plants. What more can you ask for? And the remote can actually be used on all your lights, so that's super handy. After filling and refilling this cylinder 4 or 5 times to try and clear the water, and the answer is yes, I did forget to wash the gravel, the scape was finally complete. I love it when a plan comes together, and I don't know about you, but I love how this turned out. This cylinder was going to a new home, so I packed up some endler fry and some snails and enough water from my established tank to fill the cylinder, and off we went. Just ready to go for a little ride. Got that taken out, and I'm just ready to rock and roll. So unfortunately, I did forget to bring the light with me this time, but I thought this was a great chance to give you a really good visual of what difference having a proper light makes. Because this is the mini ecosystem cylinder after a week. I brought the light over the following day to give the plants the best chance for growth, and you can see for yourself just how much of a difference it makes. And if you're wondering where the endler babies are, they're in there. They're just hiding behind the rocks in the back. If you're still here, thank you so much for watching. And if you haven't yet, please like, share, and subscribe. The YouTube overlords really like that. See you next time.